Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, August 12th, 2026. Good morning to you. First day of school. That's a change. If you've not been paying attention, you are coming across a number of school zones that are now in effect on your daily commute, as well as lots of school buses around as well. And law enforcement is out in force, making sure that we are keeping our students safe. So please take heed and slow down and pay attention as well. Well, hopefully you've also been paying attention to what's coming up in just a matter of days, 6 days. In fact, it is primary election time, and it is the election that will decide a number of races in our community. And one of those who is running for a public position is Chris Massicotte, running for Key West Commissioner, District 5. Good morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Michael. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, thanks for being here, and thanks for making the commitment to run for public service. Well, it's been quite a road, quite a ride. You've been out and about in the community almost continuously for a number of months, including yesterday, speaking with voters and potential supporters of you.
Yeah, I was out yesterday and I was out the day before. It's really fun to stand outside the early voting place over on College Road and, greet voters. We also get a list of who votes every day. And it was a really good day for me. A lot of my friends voted in the district. A lot of the folks that I've ID'd over the last year that said they were going to support me voted yesterday. And, I'm really campaigning the old fashioned way, which is knocking on doors, meeting people, going to events, and then, marking them down in the voter file that they are likely to support me, and then making sure that they vote over the last couple of weeks with early voting and vote by mail. So I get really excited every morning when I see the list of people who voted the previous day, and I just looked at it before we came on air, and it was a good day. So I'm feeling very, very good.
Good. Chris Massicotte running for City Commissioner, District 5 on Good Morning Keys. We'll be speaking with Supervisor of Elections Sherri Hodies here in a little bit. Looks like early voting is up to 2,404 people, according to the website for Supervisor of Elections. Vote by mail, I should have my glasses on. 50, is that an 8? I think that is a 5804 is the number of returns there. It's interesting, we always ask how the campaign is going, but it is also interesting, even though we talk about campaigning the old-fashioned way, there's also a lot of modernization, including follow-up and that kind of thing that goes into running a campaign. It gets pretty technical.
It does. So, I don't know. My background actually was in political consulting. And in the beginning of my career, I worked in political technology for fundraising databases. And it was the dawn of, online fundraising. And I was really involved in that. And I was also involved in voter management and voter tracking and, getting a list of voters and being able to look at the data in different ways and being able to track voters. And, you pretty much will know on election day how it's going to go because of all of the work you've done before. So that's kind of where the technology comes in. And then, I worked in digital and online advertising for many years after that for Democrats. And, while I'm not using that technology because my race is so small, some others in the campaigns are using it. The candidates for mayor use this kind of technology to reach voters that they, recognize as are likely to support them and trying to get them out to vote. Because, in an August election, we typically will only have 35, 36% to turn out. In Key West right now, it's running about double what the rest of the county is voting at because people are so in tune to what's going on. And that's a testament to all the candidates that ran this time around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there's been a lot of forums. There's been a lot of conversation about issues and a lot of opportunities to get to know the candidates, such as yourself. So basically, you are vying specifically for the votes of those who reside within District 5 then?
Yes, it's just District 5. There's just about 2,200 registered voters. And so far, 575 have voted. So just about 24%.
Wow. And you spent a lot of time trying to get to know each and every one of them, I would imagine. That's
I have,
yeah.
and if you've been, recall I ran for county commission 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then I ran. So I've spent almost the last 2 years getting to know uh, voters in Key, not only voters across the county, but also in Key West and specifically my district. And I've walked almost the entire district. I have knocked on hundreds of doors, probably almost 1,000 at this point. Um, and that's how local campaigning should be. And it's kind of unfortunate that there's been a lot of this like big money coming in, this dark money that people are trying to get away around campaign finance laws by donating thousands and thousands of dollars to a PAC that turns around and pays it to a political consulting company that will send all of these shady mailers and digital ads and text messages. Because the last time we experienced that was in 2020 during the cruise ship referendums. And, if you have folks that are spending that kind of money on one side, and it's very few people. And then, for example, on my campaign, my average donation was less than $200, and I raised $52,000 uh, from 90% of residents in Key West, and almost no businesses donated to me because that shows strong neighborhood, support. And that's really what I was going for. Money in these races really don't matter as much as doing the work and getting out and meeting people and helping and getting them to understand what your message is.
Yes, Chris Massicotte, he's running for District 5, Commissioner for the City of Key West. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. It is interesting the amount of attention that has been paid to these local races. And you have talked about special interests and not being beholden to them. Also, in your conversations with voters directly, and your messaging has talked about making City Hall make sense. So, if you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, so many votes that have happened over the last 2 years specifically. You look and like that didn't make any sense. I thought they were going to go this way because that would be the right thing to do. But maybe there was something happening or anything, and there was a vote that just didn't go the way that you thought. I'll give you one example of that. When they were Mallory Square, we spent a lot of money with on plans, hundreds of thousands of dollars, drawing up plans, drawing a request for proposal for folks. And these proposals that came in were hundreds of pages, and I went through them. I didn't go through them every single page, but they were really detailed, and people put a lot of work into them. And then up on the dais, it took them about 15 minutes to award it to HTA for however many years it was. And it's like that didn't make any sense. Why couldn't we have the people who bid present to the public their vision, because they were very different? But instead, there was hardly any conversation, and it just got passed like that. So that didn't make any sense to me. And so a lot of those kinds of votes, and that's where it came from. There was an issue with the yard waste bins for our trash pickup, and one of the commissioners had asked the head of waste management, who just happens to be my opponent, also make that make sense, because he was trying to explain how the change in the yard waste was going to go. And that's when I came up with the make City Hall make sense. And so I've been running on that ever since. And people have been really responsive to that. But it's more than just a campaign slogan. I'm really talking about my vision for Key West, and it really is rooted in transparency and really engaging with residents about what's going on in their government.
Yeah, and Chris, that kind of leads me to my next question. Then, what would you see as your vision for Key West should you become the next commissioner for District 5? And how do you measure whether you're governing by the will of the people when we talk about the issues that matter most to Key West residents? How do you determine that?
That is a great question. And first, I would say my vision is to just simply restore trust back at City Hall. I don't have any conflicts of interest. I don't take any money from anybody who had a contract with the city. I come with a fresh, start. And so that's the first step in restoring trust. But then the rest of it is you have to really, communicate with residents and understand what they want and what they need. And, so many times there would be, dozens of people speaking out on an issue, and then the commission will vote the other way. So that's the first thing that I think that I'm going to really push forward is just restoring that trust in City Hall. And then, the next thing is we have to think long term, because all of the decisions that we're making today is going to affect what Key West is like 20 years from now. And I'm really interested in the new strategic plan that is still being worked on called Foster Fund Finish. I don't love the word finish because government is never finished, but it is a project and infrastructure based strategic plan, which is really important because we have, infrastructure that is aging. We have, seas that are rising. We have issues that are coming up, storms that are getting stronger. But we can, we can do our best to help fix that. So that's the kinds of things that I want to do is focus on what really matters to people and really just try to get over all of these other things that are happening. Because if you don't trust your government to start, how are you going to, get anything done?
Yeah. Chris Massicotte running for City Commissioner, District 5 on Good Morning Keys. Well, maybe if you do prevail in the election, you just keep knocking on doors and ask them, ask on their front step. What's important?
Oh, I don't know if I'll do that. I love meeting new people, but I don't really love bothering them when they're having dinner or they're doing whatever. But it's the best way to do it. It is the most effective. And people have been so nice, at their doors. But it is, there's other ways to gauge what the public is feeling.
Yeah, I that's not a serious comment. I apologize.
I know.
Yes, but again, well, good luck to you as we hone in on this election will be decided. This seat will be decided on Tuesday.
Yes.
So early voting is taking place right now. Get your mail-in vote returned if that's what you received, or do participate in the election process on election day itself next Tuesday. Chris, you have the floor. What else would you like to say in closing to potential supporters and voters in your district?
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is thank you. This has been a tough campaign, but it's been a really good one. We've really got, our message out. People have been very responsive. For the most part, people have been very respectful. There's a few people out that have been trying to tear us down and everything, but, they're not getting any traction. And I don't pay any attention to them. But by and large, people are, respectful, even if they don't support me. They are respectful. They're like, hey, I appreciate you running. And I'll say this about our current mayor, she has a lot of respect for everybody who's ever put themselves forward to do this. She says it all the time. I have a lot of respect for her for putting stuff, herself forward. But, at the end of the day, we have, fundamental differences in the way, we want to see our Key West city government operate. And that's what voters are going to be choosing on. So I just want to thank, everybody who votes. And I'm going to encourage everybody, if you haven't voted, please do. And if you were one of the 75 people in District 5 who voted yesterday, thank you.
Okay. Chris Massicotte running for City Commission District 5 for the city of Key West. Find out more, chris4keywest.com. Chris, thank you for making the commitment to serve, and we look forward to seeing you and talking to you again soon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Take care. Bye now. Chris Massicotte, running for Key West Commissioner, District 5, chris4keywest.com. Spell out the 4, F-O-R. This is Keys Talk 96.9 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, first day of school is today, August 12th. Please be careful and alert on the roadways. This is Keys Talk 96.9 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. Back in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain, and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, and a busy morning we have. The 12th of August, first day of school. And we are also into the election season, if you haven't heard already. But we are in early voting now, and we're going to have some results of that. The vote by mail is underway also, and Election Day is 6 days away. For that, we turn to the Honorable Sherri Hodies, Supervisor of Elections for Monroe County. Good morning to you, Sherri.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am doing well. Have you slept much lately?
Oh, no, not really, but that's okay. I knew this is how it was going to be, and I just absolutely love it.
Well, you were tremendously dedicated, and we thank you so very much for that. So you have some updates for us. How would you like to steer the ship this morning? Because there's a number of different things that we'd like to bring people up to date on, including the fact that the vote MonroeFLKeys.gov. It's voteMonroeFLKeys.gov. Does have up to the moment results of election returns so far, updated as of 8/20/02 this morning. So we can go through that. We can go through any other developments in your office as it pertains to the campaigns and to the election cycle.
Okay, well, I first wanted to tell people right there on our homepage, it'll tell you how many vote by mails that we have, 5,604. We sent out 11,802, like I've been saying. So we're not even up to 50% of getting those back. So if you're a vote by mail voter, like I said yesterday, let's try to get those ballots in. And then early voting, you can see we're up to 2,404. And I wanted to tell voters to follow us on social media. You can go into our website under News and Community and follow us, because we are putting up-to-date information that is really interesting. It shows our trends. So early voting at this time in 2022 at primary midterm, we are up 59% from 2022. So early voters are coming out. We appreciate you guys. And just keep coming out. We'll be here 8:30 to 5 every day, including Saturday.
Wow. Okay. So again, early voting is going on right now. Returns there are strong. Looks like the mail-in voting, people need to pick that up just a bit. And they can return those ballots to any of the Supervisor of Elections offices, correct?
Yes, during early voting, there are 5 early voting sites, our offices, Plantation Key Community Center, Big Pine Key Community Park. They can drop those off in our secure ballot intake station. But after Saturday, so you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, up until 7 on Tuesday, they can bring them into our offices, but they have to be in by 7 or they will not be counted.
Yep. Okay, the Honorable Sherri Hodies with us, Supervisor of Elections, Monroe County. Percent turnout so far of all the active eligible voters, 14.66%. So it appears that we might have a pretty brisk turnout on Election Day itself. Some people still like to vote on Election Day specifically.
Yes, they do. And that is coming up quick, everyone. Tuesday, August 18th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you will have to vote in your precinct, and that is available on our website. You can go in and put your information in there, find out what precinct that you are in, or you can look at your voter ID card, or of course, give us a call.
Yeah. So the midterm elections, which this is, and even the primaries of midterm elections, traditionally are a little bit slower for voter turnout and voter returns. This year, we're not expecting that to be the case. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of attention paid to these races. Many of them, all but probably 2, will be decided in the county as of Tuesday.
Yes. And those 2 are, federal and state. So yeah, anything that has to do with your local voice, right down here in the Keys is going to be decided on August 18th.
And then we do have one district in Key West that has 3 contenders. So
yes.
Now if one gets 50 plus 1, then that will also
50% plus 1. Yes.
Yeah, 50% plus 1. So it's wow, it is a complex process. There's a lot for your personnel to keep track of. But I visited your office in Stock Island yesterday, and there was it was busy. A lot of people seemed to be coming in. We were just speaking with one of the candidates, Chris Massicotte. He said the turnout yesterday was good from what he determined. So it does seem like people are participating in the early voting. But again, the vote by mail, we'd like to see that pick up. And early voting only through Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. And the election workers and all of our early voting sites are busy. They are dedicated folks that come out, and they just are part of our team. They're part of our family, and we thank them so much because we could not do this without those election workers.
And I got to tell you, I wanted to commend them as well. They are still smiling. They're still pleasant. Sometimes they were out in the heat, or if they were inside the building, they still greeted you with a smile, with courtesy. And, I commend them that they're able to keep that up for the next 6 days. More power to them.
Yes, it's wonderful. Yep, they are great.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, Sherri Hodies with us. She is Supervisor of Elections, Monroe County on Good Morning Keys. Anything else you'd like to update us on today then?
Yes, I just wanted to update everyone on the primary election results. So when those election results start coming in, at 7 o'clock, we will start downloading early voting and vote by mail. Everyone will see those results by 7:30, if not before that. But on the precincts, I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
So just in the interest of being transparent and wanting to inform the public, obviously in advance, there will be a delay in precincts, their results coming back into us if you compare it to elections in the recent years. I want people to know that our priority is to always ensure that our election results are accurate while we protect the security and the integrity, of course, of the voting process. So with that in mind, with all those principles in mind, I want to tell people the additional time is necessary this primary, because outdated and unreliable copper communication lines which service some of our precincts, they have recently been removed. We knew this was going to possibly happen. We thought it was going to happen after the primary, but it has happened before the primary. We had everything ready in case this occurred. Those fax lines is what we use to transmit our election results. So we don't want to use internet, of course, and I do not want to use the new fiber optic options because that goes on the internet for 4 to 5 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to securely lock and seal the voting results. We're going to maintain a documented chain of custody, and then the results will be transported in by secure couriers to the appropriate office. So here in Key West, we're the office for Sugarloaf down. It's going to take a little bit of time to get Sugarloaf's results down here. And Marathon, exit Realty up to Marathon. It's going to take a little bit of time. And then, of course, the Key Largo office, their area is Founders Park and up. So we could, consider it's going to take a half an hour. It might take an hour. It may take a little bit longer. But the most important thing is to let people know that I will not use internet, not even for 4 to 5 seconds. And because of that, if we're going to keep our accuracy, which we are, our security and our integrity and our election process, we must be able to transport these election results in.
Well, Sherri, you made a pledge even when you were running for this office to always pursue the best interest of the voters and to firmly protect the integrity and security of the election process for each and every voter.
Yep.
And it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing. Even 4 to 5 seconds of results being vulnerable on the internet does compromise the integrity of the election process. So
That's right.
In order to avoid that, there may be a slight delay in the returns coming back. I remember the days when we were waiting for election returns in other counties and in other states for hours and hours.
Yes,
so that
right.
probably won't be the case here, but it seems like a bit of just a slight inconvenience for some is certainly worth it to make sure that our integrity and security of the election process is preserved, and that's exactly what you're doing. And you're already making moves, it sounds like, towards the future to continue to protect them.
Yes. Yeah, this is only, we hope, going to affect the primary. For the general, we are transitioning to a new modem technology that has been approved and certified by the state and by the Division of Elections. We will be up and running for the general, I am told. This is going to make our systems even more secure with like the encryptions, the firewalls, the advanced security protocols. And again, all of this without the internet. And at that point in time, the results will come in quickly as they have in the past.
Well, you can't always determine or control what other vendors and utilities do, but it sounds like you've reacted responsibly and appropriately, and thank you for that clarification.
Yes, you're welcome. And people will see this in the newspaper and so forth also. So I'm letting all the candidates know. I've emailed all of them today, as well as the political party folks out there. So
absolutely. Yep. Well, thank you for doing that. Thanks also for that transparency and getting the word out. If there's anything else you need us to communicate to the public, we will certainly do so as well. Anything else you'd like to mention, though, before we let you go? Another very busy day here.
Yes, no, I just appreciate you getting us on so that we could let everybody know in advance of what we've been working on for a few months.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for communicating it to us and with us. This is Sherri Hodies, Supervisor of Elections, Monroe County. Go to votemonroeflkeys.gov for very up-to-date information on the election and the early voting and all of the returns, etc., as they occur. And Facebook, other social media will have that. And then election results will be coming out as they're available in a secure and a very secure fashion.
Accurate.
That's right. That's the other word I'm looking for. Thank you. Accurate fashion on election night. That's what's most important. Thank you, Sherri, so much for being here. You stay sane over the next few days here.
I will. Yeah, my election staff keep me like that. So yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
Thank you for everything that you do, Michael.
My pleasure. And thanks to Perry, too. I'm sure that he is continuing to be your support staff as well.
Yes.
So thanks to him.
Yes, he is my everything.
He is. He's awesome. Thank you, Sherri. You take care. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sherri Hodies, Supervisor of Elections, Monroe County, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We'll be back with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Good morning to you. And another busy morning. 92 degrees will be your high. Just a slight chance of rain on this, the first day of school for Monroe County. And we're going to say hello to Taylor Berad. She's the Lower Keys Community Engagement Coordinator for Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium. Good morning to you, Taylor.
Good morning. Happy first day of school. Yay.
Yay, indeed. Well, you know, a big part of Mote Marine is the education programs where you can explore the ocean through the lens of a mote scientist. So you're coming off a busy summer season where there were a lot of students taking advantage of Mote Marine's resources and educational outreach.
Absolutely. We do the public tours every Tuesday, and during the summertime, there are a lot of children that attend, which is awesome. But, you know, once school starts and everything, then we get a lot of the snowbirds back. It always changes the audience almost monthly, but it's really cool to see.
It is. Well, of course, Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium has numerous locations throughout Florida and into the Florida Keys, advancing marine research worldwide. There's a number of things going on as of late, but it's all today's research for tomorrow's oceans. I did see a breakthrough for fishers and sharks. Mote Marine Laboratory research demonstrates shark deterrent success. That's been going on, but there's a lot of things that people can experience up close right here at Summerlin Key at our world-renowned research facility for Mote Marine. There's an open lab event, August 22nd, coming up. That's a Saturday from 10 to 1. Tell us what people can partake in that day.
Absolutely. So I've been working with our education program manager down here. Her name is Jade. And we had a really, really successful junior scientist zone during Ocean Fest. We had a couple hundred children in the Eco Discovery Center come through our STEM activities for all of the kids there, which were a bunch of activities that highlight some of our different research programs, and we'll be kind of doing a smaller scale of that again that Saturday. But we're going to be opening the lab up to the public from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be having some swag bags and some free food, which who doesn't love that? But yeah, we'll be opening it up to the public and having some guided tours and having some of our scientists demonstrate, some of our latest technology and cool coral techniques that we've pioneered there at the lab. And we're just always making history there. And it's cool to share it with the public. I know a lot of people aren't able to attend on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. So we figured open it up on a Saturday after school starts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Taylor Berad with us, Lower Keys Community Engagement Director for Mote Marine Laboratories and Summerlin Key. Mote Marine Laboratories, they are the ocean's champions, the best and brightest scientists, educators, and stewards to community and helping the healthy marine ecosystems and all those who depend on it. It's really amazing what is happening there at Mote Marine Laboratory. You get to see it firsthand and personal, put it that way, Saturday, 10 to 1, the 22nd. And you were gracious enough to show me around Mote Marine Laboratory a number of months ago. It really is amazing, the world-renowned work that's happening there when it comes to the reef and coral and ocean awareness overall.
I know, and even since you have been there 3 months ago, some things have changed.
Oh, yeah?
It's awesome. We're always expanding.
Yeah, my goodness. Well, I mean, the ways that you are raising coral and understanding coral is totally, it is world-renowned. I assume you still have had people from around the world coming just to try to understand what you do there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, we have a bunch of scientists where I'm not sure what, the fancy scientific term is for it. I'm sure there is one, but they do come, yearly, annually. So there's a lot of important stuff there that goes way over my non-scientist head, but I do my best to understand as much as I can. It's a lot though, and I'm super proud of everybody I work with.
Well, what a team it truly is. And again, they're really helping us better understand the oceans as they face, unprecedented challenges worldwide. The oceans really are struggling to adapt to, humans and all of the things that happen there in the ocean. We have the bleaching events, we have the high water temperatures we hear about, El Nino and all that kind of stuff. And all of the sea creatures that make it their home are also facing those challenges. And Mote Marine Laboratory is there to try to help us understand our oceans and help make them better. And it really is. And I'm sure you've said it before, it's really fulfilling work for you. And a lot of people do need to better understand it. And one way to do that is that open lab event coming up the 22nd.
Absolutely. Yep. And a couple people have asked if it does cost anything.
Yes,
it is absolutely free to the public, free to everyone. We do have some QR codes and stuff around the lab if people are interested in donating. That happens a lot, but it is all online. Everything's online these days. But no, it's definitely free from 10 to 1 for everyone.
Very good. Exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Mote International Center for Coral Reef Research and Restoration. That is the fancy name for our facility right here in Summerlin Key. Explore state-of-the-art research tanks, and they are. Meet our scientists and discover how Mote is working to restore coral reefs for future generations. Add it to your calendar. August 22nd, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., absolutely free. Mote's Elizabeth Moore International Center for Coral Reef Research and Restoration. That is a long name, but it is very appropriate to call it that. truly amazing what happens there. So Taylor Berad with us, Lower Keys Community Engagement Coordinator for Mote Marine Laboratory, the Elizabeth Moore International. I won't repeat that again, but it's a long title for a phenomenal facility right here in our own backyard. We're so fortunate to have this world-renowned facility right here on Summerlin Key. So I know you've got a busy day to get to, as always, Taylor, and you've got a lot going on. But anything else we should mention at this particular time?
Just that you did a great job pronouncing all of that just now. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to earn the honor of speaking with you and getting the word out about Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium, because the work you all do there really is phenomenal, and we're very grateful for it.
Well, thank you. It's definitely a mouthful, but we appreciate you too, Michael.
Thank you. Well, if you put that all on your business card, you'd have to wrap around to the back as well, but that's okay. It's more than worthwhile. So thank you.
You don't even want to know how hard it was to get a name tag badge. Yeah, the font is very small. Let's just say that.
I can, understandably so. Well, very good. Well, we thank you. We thank Elizabeth Moore. We thank everyone at Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium. One last pitch, Saturday, the 22nd of August, Open Lab event on Summerlin Key, Open Lab Day. So very well, Taylor, we will talk to you again very soon. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
You do the same. Take care. Taylor Berad. She is Lower Keys Community Engagement Coordinator for Mote Marine International Center for Coral Reef Research and Restoration, also known as Mote's Elizabeth Moore International Center for Coral Reef Research and Restoration on Summerlin Key. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. We're back in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain, and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Moore and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Morris says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys. And as Sherri Hodies told us a little while ago, 6 days until primary day, the day upon which many races will be decided in this midterm election. But it's a consequential election. And another person who has made a strong commitment to serving and continuing to serve is our Mayor, Danise DeeDee Henriquez, on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, sir. How are you today? Normally I say happy Monday, but now it's happy Wednesday.
It is happy Wednesday. Well, you're pulling double duty all over the place. In addition to working very hard as our full-time mayor, you're also out meeting the voters, greeting the voters, and asking for their vote for your reelection campaign.
Oh, yes. It's been since January.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 8 months, I didn't want to do anything during the holidays. So that's why I didn't announce until after the holidays, because I just felt like campaigning during the holidays was not appropriate. So January I announced, and I have hit the ground running ever since. So as our supervisor of elections, Sherri Hodies said earlier, we have 6 days left. Who's counting? But we do have 6 days left, and we're working hard to get to that finish line.
Well, Danise DeeDee Henriquez, lifelong public servant, community leader, proud mayor of the city of Key West. She has served for more than 31 years, formerly the tax collector for the county for more than 2 decades. And you did have a number of accomplishments that we've talked about in the past, but more than $80 million in unused funds were returned to taxpayers and local governments throughout Monroe County. And you've continued to talk about fiscal responsibility in governing the city as well.
That is correct. So to reiterate, I started in the tax collector's office in November of 1985. And so I worked in the office for 30 years. I retired. I was 20 years of those 30 as your Monroe County tax collector. And, I talk about challenges when I first became mayor. I got sworn in August of 2024. And then, the corruption, started where we had, unfortunately, people were arrested on my watch. The corruption didn't happen during my watch because I had just became mayor. It would happen during our previous administration. And then, of course, we had the 287G and we had the crosswalks, and we've just had a lot of things happen in my first, 6-7 months in office. But as your Monroe County tax collector, same thing. I got sworn in 2000. And I was 3 months into office, and the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles tells me, Mrs. Henriquez, we're going to close down the driver's license office in Key West, and anybody in the lower Keys would have to go to Marathon and or Key Largo or Miami to get their driver's license or an identification card. So I went there. It was not cost effective, but because I returned so many millions of dollars back to the county, you cannot put a price tag on customer service. So I hit the ground running. I took over Key West. Next year, they closed Marathon. The following year, they closed Key Largo. So I had driver's license exclusively for all of Monroe County, for all of our residents, because if not, Michael, everybody that wanted to get an ID card, 16-year-old wanting to get their driver's license, renew their driver's license, everyone in Monroe County would have had to go to Miami to get their driver's license. So as your Monroe County tax collector, 3 months in office, so this is nothing new for me. 3 months into office, I hit the ground running and been able to provide driver's licenses. In my 20 years, you talk about fiscally responsible. I returned over $80 million of unused fees that I did not spend and gave that back to our taxing authorities and back to the county. I had 20 excellent audits. I never had a finding, nor did I have a recommendation. So I wanted to bring that experience and knowledge to City Hall. I retired for about 15 months. And then as you know, I ran for mayor. I got sworn in August of 2024. There was a lot of changes that needed to happen in City Hall. And, there was $4.3 million of consultant fees and studies that were sitting on the shelf for years. And I didn't come there to dust the shelves. I came there to move those projects off of the shelf. And even with all of the craziness, the noise, the people getting arrested, we still continue to move things forward. We stayed focused, and so that's why I'm running for reelection again. I want to continue to move our city forward, continue these great things that we're doing, continue all of these projects that we're doing, and I'm asking everyone for their support.
Denise DeeDee Henriquez, she's the current mayor of the city of Key West, seeking re-election on Good Morning Keys. And Mayor, you had said fairly early on that the term of mayor was really not enough time to accomplish what has been put in motion, whether it be by you or other mayors. And so, the re-election bid is partially to continue to work on a number of initiatives you put in place.
That is correct. So our term is every 2 years, and I will be asking the voters in November to change that from 2 to 4 years. As your Monroe County tax collector, that's a 4-year term. All constitutional officers are 4 years, and it'll be up to the will of the people. And if the will of the people is 2 years, then I will continue to run every 2 years. But being in office now, getting close to 2 years, 24 months, that it's not enough time to accomplish everything that needs to be accomplished. So, I talk about partnerships. When I first got sworn into office, the morale was horrible. It was so quiet inside my office. And I to be honest with you, to me, it was like a morgue. I'm not used to that. So at the tax collector's office, I always had an open door policy. People could come in, and now you didn't have to make an appointment. And now our security door, is probably used the most in City Hall because people are coming in and out all the time. But it was all about building those partnerships and relationships and building those bridges back with the county, which we didn't have a good relationship with the county, with the different municipalities throughout our county, Monroe County, and at the state and at the federal level. So my first year going to Tallahassee, which I've had experience for 30 years going to Tallahassee, which I built relationships and very involved in our Tax Collectors Association. And I wanted to continue to do the same thing here because we didn't have that. I wanted that when City of Key West calls Tallahassee, I want them to pick up the phone and say, what does City of Key West need? Not, oh, it's City of Key West, let them leave a message. So my first year going to Tallahassee was about building those partnerships back with our legislation and letting them know that there was new administration. Yes, we did get back, we returned $1 million, $500,000 on 2 projects. And then the following year, we went back to Tallahassee and we went to Washington to build those relationships there. But we were able to bring back $5.5 million. And we had not done that in a very long time. And we didn't get the veto pen, Michael. The county got vetoed on some projects. The college got vetoed. Miami-Dade, Broward, West Palm Beach. City of Key West did not. And not only did we bring back $5.5 million, our city manager, he worked very hard and diligently, again, building those partnerships with the municipalities in the county. And we were able, if approved by the county, that to bring back $3 million in Stewardship Act. Some years we got 2 million, some years we only got 1 million, some years we got nothing. And it's $3 million for the next 5 years, which is 15 million. And when I had them run a report with the Stewardship Act, they've only were able to fight for 12 million over a 10-year period. And here we go again. It's about building those partnerships and fighting for our city. So between the 5.5 and the 3 million, which is $8.5 million, that's just a start. We're working very hard with our lobbyists, with our legislation at the state and the federal level. And again, it's building those partnerships, even with Monroe County School District. They didn't have a great relationship with the City of Key West. And here we were, a few months ago, able to help partner and help them move forward with 150 units for workforce housing. So we are doing great stuff at City Hall, no matter what social media or anybody wants to say in reference to false narratives. City Hall is doing some good stuff.
Yes. Denise DeeDee Henriquez running for re-election for the mayor of Key West. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Another reminder regarding the open door policy that you pledged to implement. Meet the mayor Mondays at 2 o'clock, I believe. And that has enabled you to have direct contact with constituents and discuss their concerns, if I can say so. And then also a number of the dollars that we're talking about bringing home for the city there are plans for those, including a strategic plan that is being put in place and being discussed right now.
That is correct. So I can't take full credit that I thought about the Meet the Mayor on my own because, of course, I'm very transparent. I did take that from a mayor from Coral Gables in Miami, and he does it on Fridays at 4 o'clock. And I'm thinking, I met him when I was in one of my meetings up there in Miami, and he was telling me, what he does. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and implement it here, and let's see, what happens and see if it sticks and see if people have interest. So I did start Mondays 2 to 4, and I will tell you, it's been very, very successful. And last week, I think I talked about how, it was a week of just people coming in reference to code enforcement issues. And it was like one right after the other. So you never really know what they're going to come in and ask or just make comments or just even say hi. So it has been very successful, and we are definitely going to continue that. You don't have to just wait till Mondays from 2 to 4. You can come in anytime, any day. If I'm available, you can just walk right in. If I have an appointment, unfortunately, we'll have to make an appointment, but I always will have an open door policy. Mm-hmm. And in reference to that 5.5 million really quick. So what that represents is wastewater treatment facility project, which was 750,000, College Road Outfalls project, 750,000, the Duval Street pump station design. It was $1 million to be able to start that design, to have a pump station at the corner in Mallory Square, to be able to help that flooding that's on the 0, 100, 200 block of Duval Street. And then we had a $3 million Stock Island landfill remediation feasibility study. And, my opponent said the other day that that was going to be for redevelopment condos. I'm not sure where he even got that from, but I know he's been asking for this study for a long time, but actually we were able to pull through and bring home $3 million for that study. And that study is going to know, gases or any leaks or anything that's going into our water quality. So I'm very proud of the money that we've been able to bring back thus far.
Yes, Denise DeeDee Henriquez running for re-election as the mayor of the city of Key West. You can find out more. DeeDee4KeyWest.com is the campaign website, but she has been said to be pursuing it's the delivering meaningful results, building a stronger future for the community she loves. And I know a lot of your inspiration comes from your family and protecting Key West for future generations, including your children and grandchildren.
That is correct. I was born here. My family's from here. My husband was born and raised here. I've raised my children here. Now my grandchildren are here. My grandfather had a Tony's roofing company for 50 years or 52 years before my father passed. And so, yes, we are invested in our community and want to continue to preserve what little bit we have left of our city of Key West. And that's why I'm very passionate about continuing to move our city forward and to preserve what we have left of our city.
Well, Mayor, thank you so much for your commitment to our community. So very many years here, that of your entire family as well. I want to thank you for that. Is there anything else, though, that we should mention to the voters at this particular time?
Vote. So it's very important. I'm not sure if our supervisor of elections, she said, how people are out there early voting. We are trying to push everybody to get out there to early vote. You don't know what's going to happen on election day. I had a story really quick that there was a gentleman running in the city of Key West many years ago. a handful that was at the grocery store. Going from there, they were going to vote, and the young lady dropped a Coca-Cola bottle. It was glass, and it cut her forehead, and she had to run to the emergency room to get stitches. Well, by the time they got out of there, the precincts were closed. And that gentleman that was running for the city of Key West lost by 1 vote.
Oh
so
my gosh.
you
Yes.
just never know. It's very important. I know there's a lot of people like to go out on the day of election day, and you never know if it's going to rain. You just never know what's going to happen. Now we have the availability to be able to go out there and early vote. So I can't stress enough to go out there. They're open from 8:35 today through Saturday. So we have a little tent out there, and we're out there almost until 5 o'clock. And I can't stress enough to make sure everybody gets out and votes.
Absolutely. For voters for the city of Key West, 5200 College Road, Stock Island. Supervisor of Elections office is where you participate in early voting, return your vote by mail, or election day itself. But again, you have till Saturday for early voting. That is definitely the safest bet. So Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez with us on Good Morning Keys. With that, we'll let you get back to a very busy day ahead.
You have a wonderful day, and be safe again. Be safe out there, and have a great rest of your week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Now, Mayor Danise DeeDee Henriquez with us, Mayor of the City of Key West. She's seeking re-election. Early voting is happening right now. And again, to find out more, DeeDee4KeyWest.com. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And it's now time for Glenn Beck.